A 17-year-old just sold his app to MyFitnessPal. The exit probably $50 to $100 million. He started 18 months ago, and the strategy he used to go from 0 to 30 million in revenue isn't complicated. In fact, I'm going to break down the exact playbook he ran so you can steal it for your own business. But first, here's what nobody's talking about. Everyone thinks Kala AI went viral because of AI, because it was the right time for a calorie tracking app, because they got lucky. That's not what happened in this case. Here's what actually happened. Zach, the founder, didn't build Kala AI because he thought AI was cool. He built it because he knew he could make it go viral on social media. Before writing a single line of code, he had already figured out the entire marketing strategy.
And then you could just show the product to the audience instead of trying to find the audience.
So it's basically establishing a marketing strategy before even building the product. Like knowing that if you did have the product and if it worked well, that you also had a very good strategy to get eyeballs.
Yeah, exactly. We knew that there are hundreds of health and fitness influencers and that their audiences would love the app. So we just needed to build it and show it to them.
And that's the part everyone misses. Most founders build first, then figure out marketing later. Zach did the opposite. He picked an idea, he knew hundreds of fitness influencers existed. He knew their audiences would love the product. He knew he could show it in a 15-second video and people would instantly get it. The product didn't make the company successful. The go-to-market strategy did. And here's exactly how he did it. First, Zach ran what I call the viral product test. He didn't just ask, is this a good idea? He asked, can I show this in 15 seconds and make someone want it? If the answer was no, he simply didn't build it. Kala AI passed the test because you can literally show someone taking a picture of food and getting instant calories. No explanation needed, no long sales pitch, just visual proof in 3 seconds. And this is where most SaaS founders fail. They build complex products that require 5-minute explainer videos. Then they wonder why influencer marketing doesn't work for them. Zach built the product knowing that fitness influencers could show it mid-vlog and people would immediately understand it. But here's where it gets interesting. He didn't just build a viral product. He built a system to scale virality. Most people think influencer marketing is simple. You pay an influencer, they post, you simply make money. But Zach turned it into a science. He created what I call the RPM-CPM framework. And here's how it works. RPM is revenue per 1,000 views. CPM is cost per 1,000 views. If your RPM is higher than your CPM, you're profitable. Sounds obvious, right? But here's the trick. Zach would DM 500 influencers per day. One would respond. He would look at their last 10 posts, calculate average views, then predict how many views their Kala AI video will get. If they averaged 50,000 views, he would offer them $100 for the video. And that's a $2 CPM. But Kala AI's RPM, $5. Every 1,000 views generated $5 in revenue. So on a 50,000 view video, Zach spent $100 and made $250. And that's $150 profit per single video. Now multiply that by 150 influencers posting every single month. And that's how they hit $1 million a month in just 6 months. But most influencers didn't accept a $2 CPM. So Zach did something genius. When influencers said no to $100 for one video, Zach offered them $400 for 4 videos. Same CPM, but now they are locked in for a month. And here's why this is brilliant. Once an influencer posts about you once, their audience is warmed up. The second video converts better. The third video even better. By the fourth video, you are not paying for new audience awareness, you're paying for conversion. And conversion is always cheaper than acquisition. So Zach's effective CPM dropped from $2 to $1.50 by month too. Same influencers, better results and lower costs. And then he did something even smarter. He started reposting every influencer's video on Kala AI's own Instagram account. Same videos, free distribution. Tens of millions of additional views every single month. and zero additional cost. And this what I called the content multiplication effect. Just one payment, but 3 distribution channels. Influencer's account, Kala AI's account, and retargeting in paid ads. And that brings us to the final layer. Here is what nobody talks about with the Kala AI. Influencer marketing got them to $1 million a month, but paid ads took them to $5 million. And the reason it worked is because they didn't start with paid ads. They started with influencers. They started with organic content. When you run 150 influencer videos every single month, you have 150 pieces of creative to test in meta ads. You already know which ones performed organically. So you take the top 10%, run them as ads and scale. Zach was spending $7,000 a day on meta ads profitably. Day 1 positive ROI. And the reason it worked is because the creatives were already proven. Most brands burn money on paid ads because they are testing blind. Zach was testing with data. He knew exactly which videos would convert before spending a single dollar. And that's the difference between guessing and having a system. And this system took Kala AI from 0 to $50 million in annual recurring revenue in 18 months. Which brings us to the real lesson here. The real lesson is Zach designed the product for the distribution channel before even building it. He didn't build a product and then figure out marketing. He figured out marketing, then built the product around it. And this is the reverse of how most founders think. Most founders ask, what should I build? Zach asked, what can I make go viral? And once he had that answer, building the product was easy. So if you're building a SaaS, an app, or any digital product, here's the framework. First, identify a distribution channel where your audience already hangs out. For Kala AI, it was fitness influencers on Instagram and TikTok. Second, design your product so it can be shown in 15 seconds or less. If you can't explain it visually in a short video, redesign it. Third, build relationships before you build the product. Zach was DMing influencers and asking what they needed before he wrote a single line of code. And lastly, test cheap before you scale expensive. Influencer marketing is cheaper and faster to test than paid ads. Once you prove it works, then you scale it with paid. And it's how you go from 0 to 8 figures without raising money, which is exactly what Zach did. Now, here's what you should do next. The strategy Zach used got Kala AI to $50 million, but here's the problem. Strategy is useless if you can't execute. And the biggest bottleneck people hit is getting influencers to actually reply. Zach sent 500 DMs to get 1 response. Most people quit after 10. So I made a full video on the exact DM system that gets replies and eventually influencers to say yes. It's the same framework Zach used to land 150 deals. Watch this video next and see you on the next one.